Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about CYK algorithm. Why do we use CYK algorithm? It is used to check whether a particular sentence, that means a string of terminals, is derivable from a given grammar or not. There are two methods of using CYK algorithm and we will be discussing both of them. Say for example, we have a grammar and we want to check whether the string ABA is derivable from this grammar or not. First and the most important step is that we need to convert the grammar into Chomsky normal form. In Chomsky normal form, we have two non-terminals or a single terminal on right side of every production. The first method says that we need to divide the entire string into n parts. In this case, we are dividing the entire string W into three parts, x1, x2 and x3, because length of the string is 3, A, B, A. If length of the string was 5, we would have divided this into 5 parts. Now we will be considering first character of the string as x1, second as x2 and third as x3. First comes A, so x1 is equal to A. We will check in the grammar all the non-terminals which are producing only A will be considered as part of this particular input. So we have three non-terminals A, B and A1 which are producing small a. So these three will be considered as symbols for x1 is equal to A. Next comes x2. x2 is B. So we will check the grammar corresponding to small b. We have two productions B and B1. So both productions will be considered. Next we come to x3 is equal to A. We have already considered A in x1. So the non-terminals producing it remains the same, that is A, B and A1. Now we will group them in pair of 2. So we will have x1, x2 and x2, x3. If we consider x1, x2, this is basically a combination of all the symbols which were produced in x1 in concatenation with all the symbols which were produced in x2. So in x1 we have capital A, capital B, A1, and in x2 we have B, B1. So if we will join these two, the combination which we will get will be AB, AB1. From B we will get BB and B1. Then from A1 we will get A1B and A1B1. Now if we consider all these six in outputs which we derive, AB and another A1B1 is derivable in the grammar which is given on the right side. So we will consider these two, that is S tends to AB and A tends to A1B1. So the symbols which need to be considered, capital S and capital A. Next we move to x2, x3, that is x2 union x3. In x2 we have B, B1. In x3 we have A, B, A1. We will have B in concatenation with A, that is BA, B in concatenation with B, that is BB, followed by B1A, followed by B1B, B1A1. We get six symbols. Among these six symbols, only one symbol, that is B1B, is generating an output. So we will be considering only one symbol, that is B only. Next we move to pair of 3, that means x1, x2, x3. Union of all three. Union of these three can be through two combinations. One is x1 union x2, x3. When we will derive the union, it will be A, B, B, B and A1, B. Since B, B and A1, B are not deriving any symbols, we'll consider only S, since S tends to AB. Likewise, we will derive x1, x2 union x3, that is S and A union A, B, A. S union A, SA, S union B, SB, S union A1, SA1, A union A, AA, A union B, AB and A union A1 is AA1. Only production which is deriving among all these six productions is S tends to AB. So symbol to be considered is capital S. Since we get the start symbol at the end, we can say that string ABB is derivable from this graph. Next we consider second question. In this we are considering the string BAB. First we will divide the entire string into three parts, x1, x2 and x3. x1 is B, the first one, that is B tends to B and B1 tends to B. So we have two inputs and two symbols to be considered are B and B1. Next we move to x2, that is A. The symbols which are derivable are A, capital A and capital B. Next we move to x3 is equal to B. Since we have already considered B in x1, these symbols remain the same. Next we move to x1, x2, that is x1 union x2. x1 is B, B1, x2 is A, B, A1, union of B with ABA and B1 with ABA. Now if we consider these six, among these six, only one is deriving, that is B tends to B1B. So the only symbol which will be considered is B. When we consider x2, x3, among the six symbols, the only symbol which is derivable is S tends to AB and A tends to A1, B1. So we have S and A. Now next step will be x1, x2, x3, which will be either x1 union x2, x3. We get four outputs. Among those four outputs, none of the output is produced by the grammar. Then we consider x1, x2 union x3. We get two outputs. None of the output is derivable from the grammar. Since we do not get symbol S from x1, x2, x3, we say that BAB is not derivable from the grammar. Next we move to third question. In this question, we are considering the string of length 4 AABA. Again, the first step remains that first convert the grammar into Chomsky normal form. We have converted this grammar into Chomsky. String length is 4. So we have 4 inputs, x1, A. Corresponding to that, we check the grammar. In the grammar, we get two outputs, A and A1. Then we move to x2, which is A. That means same. x3 is B. Two outputs, one is B and another is B1. x4 is B, which is same as x3. We move to pair of two, x1, x2, x2, x3 and x3, x4. x1, x2, four outputs. Among those four outputs, only one output, that is A tends to A1A, is derivable from the grammar. So the symbol to be considered in this case will be capital A. Then we move to x2, x3. In this, we will get four outputs. Among those, only one is derivable from the grammar. So we will get the output as S. Then we move to x3, x4. Among these, there is only one production which is giving us the output, that is capital B. Now, since we are considering pairing of 3, x1, x2, x3 or x2, x3, x4. So we need to consider both cases, x1 in union with x2, x3 or x1, x2 in union with x3. Output which we generate from the first is AS, A1S. None of them is generating any output corresponding to the grammar given. Then we go to x1, x2 in union with x3. From this we get two outputs and S tends to AB is the one which is derivable from the grammar. So the symbol to be considered is capital S. We move to x2, x3, x4. In this we have two cases. One is x2 in union with x3, x4. Another is x2, x3 in union with x4. Among first options we get S tends to AB and symbol to be considered is capital S. Among second we don't get any output which is derivable. So we have 5. Now we come to the case when we are considering four symbols x1, x2, x3 and x4. In this case, we will have three cases. One is x1, x2 in union with x3, x4. Corresponding to that, we get AB, and since we have a production which is derivable for AB, that is capital S, we will consider this. Next case will be x1 in union with x2, x3, x4. We don't get any output which is derivable. Next we come to the third case, that is x1, x2, x3 in union with x4. We don't derive anything, but when we are considering the union of all four, that is x1, x2, x3 and x4, we get S at the end. We can say that AA, BB is derivable from this grammar.